Okay, hello everybody. I had some problems with the audio on the first video, so I'm gonna redo the audio on the video, and then everything should be okay. Right now, it looks good. It looks like it's gonna the audio is gonna be fine. Okay, so anyway, here's the turtle, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to sand down the flippers so that the flippers are a different color than the shell. You know, I figured if the flippers were a different color than the shell, that the shell would stick out more. You know, contrast. But none of that worked. The reason it didn't work was the 3D pen wouldn't stick to the paint on the turtle. So I ended up sanding down the whole turtle. The whole thing is going to be sanded here in a minute. And then what I did to try to get the 3D pen to work, I sprayed a clear lacquer onto the shell, and I was hoping that the 3D pen would stick to that. But that didn't work either. So, uh, so I had to improvise. Put it that way. I had to improvise. Well, anyway, I took the volume out of the audio, out of the video because of the sander. The sander makes a pretty annoying noise, and you know, I figured it'd be better just not to have the sander in there. So I'm just going to, you know, record over the video. All right. Anyway, uh, here I'm starting to get the flippers right. Yeah, the flippers are good. Everything is good. Uh, I wish that the 3D pen would have stuck to the shell, but it didn't. Here, I'm trying to rough up the surface here so that the 3D pen will stick, but to no avail. The 3D pen did not stick. Bad news. Sorry about that. Alrighty, so um, okay, so anyway, here's the fish that I cut the other day. I did some adjustment to him. I took off some of the fins in the back, up in there. I took off the fin on the bottom, and then I kind of reshaped his body. And he looks a lot better now than he did the other day. He looked like he was kind of swelled up the other day. Okay, now there's the 3D pen. Okay? And what it is, it's a pen that you use a filament instead of ink. There's the filament right there. And the filament goes into the pen melts the filament, and then it squirts it out the front end, and you can make things with it. You can draw, you can do a whole bunch of things. And it hardens right away, so it's no big deal. Okay, there. You could see let me see. There, I'm putting in the filament into the back end. Wait a minute, not yet. I'm waiting for that light to turn green on the pen. Watch out, that tip is hot. Ouch. These really aren't kids' toys. These 3D pens, they're not really. Okay, there goes the green light is on, and it's ready to go. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened here. I skipped ahead for some reason. Oh, I took off the paint. That's why. The paint is gone now from the turtle, from the shell. And I sprayed it with a clear lacquer, but it still didn't work. I still had to glue everything. But that's no big deal. It just took a little extra time. You know, the glue dries clear, and once you put the polyurethane on, uh, you know, whatever's underneath the polyurethane is going to stick. Okay, I'm showing you the pen. There's the speed control. You know, you have an option of how fast you want the filament to come out. It's got a little yellow button, means that the thing is on. The green button means it's ready to go. it's really a pretty cool thing. Okay, there. I'm trying to get it into a position where you can see what's actually coming, what's actually going on there. It doesn't come out real fast. You have to give it time to melt the plastic, but it comes out fast enough. You do have to be a little bit patient. But there, you can see it working there. Um, like I said, I ended up gluing everything down, which is no big deal. You can't even tell when you can't even tell from the by the time the polyurethane is on, you can't see any glue. You'd never know it was glued down. All right, so hold on a minute. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Oh, I need more filament. The 3D printers that you've seen, all that is basically a 3D pen um, connected to a computer that's that's programmed to draw a certain thing. It's basically a 3D pen is the same as a 3D printer, except it's independent. It's not connected to the bars and the arms of a 3D printer. The thing is independent. So, but it's basically the same thing. It's the same idea. You heat the filament and you go from there. Okay, now I'm going to try to figure out here how to get the 3D onto the back of the turtle. And here, the only thing I could do was this. I drew out the patterns on paper, and then I did the 3D pen, and now I'm peeling off the patterns. Even though they broke, it doesn't matter. Even though they fell apart, it doesn't matter. They're all going to get glued anyway. Okay, so that's two of the diamonds. The next one will be two more diamonds. And, I just go from there. I just draw out the patterns that I want. I put the 3D pen down. I lift them up, and then I'm going to glue them down with Gorilla Glue. Like I said, Gorilla Glue is kind of like Elmer's glue. It dries clear. So you're not going to be able to see it once it's dried. Okay. And also what I did was I used painter's tape, because some of the 3D filament was not laying flat. It was kind of bowed in certain areas. So I just used painter's tape to hold it down until everything dried, and it was good to go. So here comes some glue. This did take some time, I have to admit. All right, now, like I said, you can see the glue, but don't worry about it. The Gorilla Glue dries clear. It's like Elmer's glue. You can't see it. Okay. All right, here we go. Here's some tape. I wish the 3D pen would have stuck right to it, right to the shell. It would have been a lot easier, but that's not what happened. But that's okay. Hey, what the heck? Now I finished up the 3D pen on the back of the shell, and the next scene coming up here pretty soon will be the next morning the next morning after the glue had dried completely. Let me see. Yeah, it's coming up here pretty soon. About a minute. The turtle came out really nice. The polyurethane really looks good on it. All right, that piece was a little bit too long. I had to cut it. Okay. Somebody asked me if I sell these things. Well, I mean, I do and I don't, you know. I traded a laptop for one of the fish one time. That was a good deal. I still use the laptop. Okay, now here's the next day. All the tape is gone and all the glue is dried, and there he is. Okay. And like I say, I did all that from the paper. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the screws that will hold the hanger, you know, the screws that'll hold the wire that'll hang it up on the wall. But I'm also going to do some extra stuff here. In case anybody wanted to make a wind chime out of it, I mean, I could see this thing hanging in a tree with some wind chimes on the bottom of it. Well, anyway, in case somebody wanted to do that, I made a couple extra holes. I put in a couple extra screws. Okay, now there. Now I'm tightening those screws. Those are self-tapping screws, by the way. You don't need to drill a hole. They drill their own hole. Okay, so now I'm going to cut them off because they came through to the other side. Now I just cut them off so that you don't stick your finger on them. They're pretty sharp. All right. So there, now you have the hook where you can hang it. Okay, now I'm going to put 3 screws in the bottom in case I do sell it and someone wants to make a big wind chime out of it. I'm going to put 3 screws in so that you could hang 3 wind chimes on the bottom of it. I have a big wind chime that I made for inside the house. I mean, it's got about 20 pipes on it. And man, it's really loud. I couldn't take it outside. They would kill me. They would kill me if I took it outside. So anyway, there I'm cutting off the screws that I put in on the bottom. Oh, and I messed up the 3D pen a little bit, so I'm going to touch that up right here. There we go. All right. See, the 3D pen will stick to itself. So in other words, it'll stick to that other stuff that's already stuck. So that's not a problem. Okay, now I'm going to put in 1 screw up on the tip of his nose in case you want to hang it in a tree with the wind chimes on it. That's all. That's just in case, you know. Okay, now I'm gonna cut off the end of that screw. You won't even see the screw. There it is. Okay. Little touch up there. All right, he's ready to go. Now the only thing I have to do is I have to put one more wire in the back of this fish. One fish has a wire for hanging, the other one doesn't. So I'm just going to put that wire in, and then I'm going to polyurethane all three of them. Okay. Now again, I don't want the nail to show. You know, the nail that you use to hold it up to the wall? I don't want that nail to show, so I can't put the wire above his fins up on top. The wire can't go above the fins. Otherwise, you would see the nail that he's hanging on. So I don't want to do that. Okay, now let me cut off the screws. There you go. Can't see the screws? Nice. All right, polyurethane. Get it on. Okay, now the two fish are already signed and numbered. What I do is I use my initials, DBL. In everything, all my paintings and everything that I do DBL. And here's I'm putting in the DBL in the turtle right now with these metal punchers, and then I number them. Okay, these metal punchers are real hard steel, and when you punch a piece of metal with them, as long as the metal is softer than the steel, it'll you know, it will leave an impression. The metal punchers are letters A through Z, and then numbers 1 through 0. So you have everything there, you know. All right, here comes the magic stuff. Woohoo! Okay, here we go. My computer shut off. All right. Okay, man, this thing's looking good. I must admit. Okay, the fish, like I said, the fish are already signed and numbered. So I don't have to number them.